to. We have no option. Your family is okay? Friends?
Yeah, so far, yes. I'm the only one going outside going groceries. So
Oh man, you must love to eat. How long have you know guys known each other with Ray?
back in 2018,
Ah,
it's
it's a long time.
around.
Your
Yeah.
family is okay? Friends?
Yeah, so far, yes. I'm the only one going outside going groceries. So
Oh man, you must love to eat. I think that's the place. How long have you know guys known each other with Ray?
back in
Yeah.
2018.
Oh, your family is okay? Friends?
Yeah, so far, yes. I'm the only one going outside going groceries. So
Oh man, you must love to eat. I think that's the place. How long have you know guys known each other with Ray?
back in 2018.
Okay, so are we okay? Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. How are you? How are you? I hope that everything is okay and doing fine. So my name is Ray Tadeo. I am the CEO and co-founder of Learning Innovation Hub. So welcome to this second episode of the Spot. So today we're going to discuss about data privacy in an online learning environment. So okay, sorry, let me just close some microphone. Okay, so for this episode 2, we're going to discuss the data privacy in an online learning environment. So before that, let me just introduce myself. Again, my name is Ray today. I'm the CEO and co-founder of the Learning Innovation Hub. Um, I'm also affiliated in the Employers Confederation of the Philippines. If some of you guys uh, met me there doing training programs. And with me is my good buddy, Alpha Bomhira, the CEO and co-founder of ProSpark. Alpha, please introduce yourself.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. Everyone here in the Philippines. It's a wonderful day. We just want to say welcome again to our second episode, where we will dig deeper into some data privacy issues associated with the training industry, especially doing things in different infrastructures. We are very excited to be here today. So my name is Alpha, as you all can see on the screen. I'm the CEO and co-founder of ProSpark here in the Philippines. Uh, ProSpark is a learning platform to upskill, reskill, and train the workforce of the Philippines. We are here on the ground and we are servicing customers within the B2B space, enterprises. We have clients, for example, RD Pawn Shop, Northern Star Energy, and also Red Rock Security. So what are we providing in the market? We're providing a learning management system, one-stop shop that allows people to be trained anywhere at any time within the enterprise space. So we're playing in the enterprise space with clients in the gig economy, with clients in the SMEs. So we are happy to be here today. Thank you very much for taking your time. Very excited to learn from you all and also participate in this wonderful episode. So thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Alpha, for introducing yourself. Later, I guess Alpha will be discussing more about the ProSpark platform or on how we can protect our data, our materials when we conduct training programs. And also with me is my good friend, Mr. Ernest Oxon of Consent Consulting. Sir, please introduce yourself.
Hello, good afternoon. So
Yeah, good afternoon.
hello everyone. I'm Ernest, like what Ray mentioned. I'm with Cosing Consulting. I'm one of the consultants of the company. We focus on governance system compliance. Brief background of Cosing is we provide compliance solutions to companies, diba? Helping them comply with now the Data Privacy Act of the Philippines. Diba? It's our local data protection regulation. There are several in the entire world. Diba? GDPR is one of them. Uh, there's also in the States, there's one in Singapore. So here it's our DPA. So basically, we help companies comply, diba? Help them with their requirements, diba? Uh, provide them with, help them perform the compliance activities as required by the DPA. So now, by Ray's invitation, I'm here to actually give insights on the data privacy and how does it relate to uh, the learning development uh, group or sector. So hopefully we get to answer some of your questions, and we get to share with you some of our insights on uh, whatever's happening now, especially with the pandemic, diba? So, and what can we do to mitigate or address those risks that we can actually see. All right.
Okay, so thank you, Sir Ernest, for introducing yourself and how you can help people here in this platform. So for this afternoon, it will be an very informal discussion. We're going to discuss about the data privacy, on how data privacy affects learning, especially right now that we've been doing on a lot of online trainings. So we know that the shift from the physical setting to the digital classroom, some of us who've been doing face-to-face training program, it possesses new challenges for learning and development practitioners. So I guess one of its challenges is data privacy, leaking of training records, posting students' pictures. You know, after every training program, I see some training providers who've been screenshotting their students in the Zoom platform and posting it in their social media and saying that, oh, after this third day training, these are my students. So we have those kind of things. And of course, we have this leaking of data records, the training records of the organizers, the email addresses, as well as the materials. And I know before that we have these problems on Zoom bombing. I don't know if any one of you experience Zoom bombing. So before we had this, all of us are doing Zooms, and people often anonymous people often enter Zoom. Then when they enter, they posted things in the Zoom meeting and other data privacy that we've been experiencing right now. So this afternoon, we're going to discuss how these things will be avoided and what are the protocols and that an HR or a learning development practitioners must put in place. So I guess we've invited a data privacy expert to discuss those things this afternoon. So, okay. So before we start our session for this afternoon, please feel free to use the chat box. If you have any questions or concerns in this training, please type your questions. And if if you want to talk, we can unmute you. Just please raise your hand. So that's the rules of this game. Okay, so um, as I mentioned a while ago, I'm interested to learn people here in this meeting. So I'm going to share a Mentimeter survey. So, okay, I hope you've already know how to use this Mentimeter survey. So, basically, you can use your secondary device, your laptop, mobile phone. You can use your internet browser, and please go to www.menti.com and please enter the code 73419036. Again, I'm going to type it in the chat box. The Mentimeter code, please go to www.menti.com. So please go to this site and please type the code 73419036. Okay. So once you are inside this Mentimeter platform, please click on the thumbs up logo. Then we're going to ask you some few questions. So basically, this Mentimeter platform is it's a collective survey. So basically, your details, your names, locations, and everything is completely anonymous. So we're not collecting any data from you, but we're just want to ask you some few questions on this Mentimeter survey. Again, for those who've already just entered the room, let's get to know each other. So please go to www.menti.com and please type in the code 73419036. So once you are inside the room, please click on the thumbs up logo. So we will know that you're ready to participate. So maybe if we have 5, 6 people, we can start with this activity. Okay, so we have 5. Okay, so let's go now for to the first question. We are interested to learn the sex of the people here in this platform. So how many are males? How many are females? So please type in. So okay, so we have male. Okay, male. Okay, I guess most of the participants here are males. So do we have any females here? Okay, I have 1 female. Okay, so how did this work? The biggest font is the biggest number of participants. So we have the male, a lot of males here. Okay, so we have female. Okay. So let's go now to the next question. We are interested to know your position and designation to this meeting. So what is your roles in your company? Position and designation. Please type in your Mentimeter platform. Are you HR? Are you coming from the learning and development field? Are you the CEO of the company? Please type in. Okay, we have consultant. Okay, I can see there's a consultant here. Okay, 2 consultants. Okay, other position. Okay, we have manager, rec LD. Okay, so we have someone from legal department. Okay, learning and development specialist. Okay, so we have this participant. So let's go now to the next. We are interested to learn your industry. So from what industry you belong? You came from publishing industry? You came from um, uh, finance? Okay, we have people coming from finance. We have people coming from energy industry. We have coming from publishing. Okay, other answers? Okay, BPO, business process outsourcing. Okay. Okay, maybe you can wait for one. Okay, so I guess these are the industries that are participating in the survey. So let's go now to the business trade. I guess you've answered this already, so let's skip this. Now we are interested to learn what are your data privacy issues in learning and development, or maybe in your field. So please type in your answer. What are your data privacy issues in learning and development? Please type in your answer. Marketing. Okay, so we will marketing. Maybe if you're getting data from your clients, how do you protect your data? Okay. What else? Any data privacy issues? Maybe if not in learning and development, outside of learning and development, any issues that you want to share? Okay, so we see a response here. Issues on privacy and marketing. Okay, sige. So anything? Any things that you want to us to discuss in this afternoon? Okay, so we have marketing. So we have one response coming from marketing. Okay, so let's go now to the next. We're also interested if you have LMS. So yes, no, or what is LMS? I don't know what is LMS. LMS is a learning management system. If you have one in your company, no. Okay, yes, two of here. Maybe you're using Moodle platform in your LMS. Okay. So basically, two answered yes and two answered no. Okay. Oh, so most of the participants here have no LMS. Anyway, later we're going to discuss uh, more what is an LMS. Okay, basically, thank you very much for participating the survey, the quick survey. It really helps us to learn, to know the participants here in this meeting. So I guess we just go to the first agenda of this meeting. So basically, I'm going to ask Alpha and Sir Ernest about their experiences in data privacy. My first question, Alpha and Sir Ernest, what is data privacy and why is it important to the digital environment? So let's enlighten people listening to us from Facebook and here inside the Zoom platform. Tell us what is data privacy and why is it important to the digital environment. Okay, any gentlemen?
Yeah.
Alpha, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I was about to say Ennis. I think Ennis should go first. Go ahead, Ennis.
Sige, okay.
Yeah.
Real quick answer would be data privacy regulations in particular would mean organizations, both public and private, need to protect personal data that it collects, process. That's in a nutshell. That would be data privacy or data privacy regulation. At least it's data protection, diba? Protecting information of people, diba? Not necessarily of companies, but rather people that information people that we collect from. Diba? We process, we use, diba? We store. Diba? Often the misconception is when we say process, it's just using it. No, it's actually even storing the data. That's also processing it. So it's collection, the usage, when disclosing the data or sharing the data to external partners, that's also processing as well. So that in protecting data in all of those phases of the data life cycle, so to speak, uh, that's where data privacy comes in. Right? It's protecting the rights of individuals, the right to be private. So, in a nutshell, you may look into several websites or even internet as to the formal definition of data privacy. The National Privacy Commission, our local government agency that oversees data privacy, has a more thorough definition for that. So you can look into that. Pero in a nutshell, diba, for non-data privacy compliance practitioners, diba, it's just protecting data, personal data of the people that we collect from. So that's my take. So that's what data privacy is. Alpha?
Yeah, I think Ernest really hit it right on the nail. So the way I look at it, it's actually this way, right? When you think about data privacy, in simple, safely, gathering, safely processing, and safely securing whatever you classify as data. Okay, and data can be classified on two different segments. Number one, you can have personal data, or let's say you're an e-commerce company, so you have your own e-commerce consumers on your platform using your data, using your platform. So you have their credit cards, you have their addresses. That's considered personal data. You can also have company data. Company data could be intellectual property of the company, right? So you think about, for example, your patents you have, let's say for your next, innovation you're developing within your company. For example, you think Coca-Cola, their company privacy is the formula of how to make Coca-Cola, right? You think about a bank, possibly they have some of their competitive, internal intelligence about other players which they have developed in-house. When you think about, for example, fintech, there's also financial modeling through different algorithms that helps people to predict credit worthiness of somebody. So the algorithm specifically will be company, protective layer of data. So I think part of that is in simple, privacy can, affect across all those different segments, and privacy should not be treated as independent on those segments because everything is interconnected. If a company gets attacked, let's say the company data level, it can also affect, their users or their consumers' data. If they get attacked at the user, it can also affect their company internal data level, because you never know where the intrusion can penetrate your system or how they even encroach into your network layer. So, definitely when one thinks about data privacy, you definitely have to think it as a holistic view, and be able to think about the approach of how you can develop mitigation measures that can address data privacy in that complex system.
I believe Ray has a second question about why is it important in the digital environment. I forgot to answer that question.
Yes, go ahead.
Especially now, ever since last year, March, when the government declared enhanced community quarantine, the lockdown, and the entire world went on lockdown. So it's more so important now because for people, individuals, to do transactions, to buy anything, buy food, buy clothing, instead of going outside and contracting the virus, people now resort to online measures. So the first thing that everyone, all of us, needs to give out for us to be able to transact online is our name, our contact numbers, our addresses for the items to be delivered, the food, clothing, like I said, gadgets, all of these other items that we buy online. Businesses started digitalizing their operations. So for us to be able to acquire their services, it has to be online as well. So that's one very big reason why data privacy is fairly important in this digital environment that we're in now. And it was it was emphasized by the pandemic. Now we really need to use Zoom to meet people, online meetings, talk to people. So what's the first thing we actually give out? Personal data. So why is it important now? Because of the wealth of information, personal data, being collected by all of these organizations that we are getting their services from. So that for me, and I believe Alpha and Surrey here would agree, that it's fairly important that data privacy is very significant now. And protecting the data that you collect from all of these people, from all the individuals, would be pertinent, because we ourselves as individuals would require the organizations who collected our information to protect our information as well. So that would be a quick answer to Surrey's second question.
Okay, we know that they say that data is the new gold, data is the new oil. We have that saying right now. Data is the new oil. Everything runs with the data. When we search something in the internet, the algorithm will be telling us that buy this, buy that, click this, click that. So that's some of the data that we've been experiencing right now. So let's go back to our topic, which is learning and development, which is very close to my heart. Of course, we've been doing a lot of online trainings right now. We've been conducting seminars, webinars. We've been using different platforms such as Google Docs, Google Sheets, and we've been using other platforms such as different types of learning management system to manage our training. So basically, I just want to ask, I guess I'm going to throw this question to Alpha first. What are the threats to data privacy that learning and development practitioners faces often? What are your thoughts, Alpha?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think it's important to take a step back and really look at the Philippines market, itself. I think as Ernest well articulated, what happened last year in February, March, when the Philippines market went into shutdown because of the pandemic. Not only Philippines, I mean every country in the world. You could see two different types of clients, right? You could see clients or companies or organizations or education institutions that were ready for the transition from the traditional offline training, in-person training into something more like an online learning environment. I can give you a good example. I'll say most of the banks had already built the infrastructure very well in the Philippines, some BPOs, but some of the traditional companies in the insurance space, remittances, payment system gateways companies, some of them were not ready for the shift of having to do all your orientation, all your trainings from offline, and now you have to do everything online. And then some of the companies, the companies that were not ready, you could see people were scrambling, which means some of them started to use email. Some of them started to create different folders like Google Drive, and now they're sharing stuff on Zoom, on Skype, and stuff is all over the place, right? So there's no way of tracking it. There's no way of controlling information flow within the company. People are sending date of birth, performance within their last training they've done over email. Data, information is everywhere. Some of the email I was receiving, for example, for us at Prosper here, you could see that this person is using a Gmail to request for a demo from Prosper on behalf of their company, right? Or using a Yahoo email. So I think those are the two sets of people you see in the market, right? And some people are in the gray areas, right? They have some good systems. Some people, they're like, okay, some things are still offline. So the biggest threat is everybody, but of course, the most biggest threat is the companies that were not ready to shift to online learning, right? We know that online learning is the future, right? The whole traditional in-person training, I would say after the pandemic, that time has come and gone to have everything being done in person 100%. I think companies, organizations in the Philippines will start to really think about blended learning experience that encompasses offline and online. And then if you think about the threats that exist in this space, especially the ones that are ready, data phishing, that's a good one. Uh, different mal attacks, right? In terms of, let's say, maybe denial of your network services. Sometimes people send the wrong file to the wrong person. It has to consider a violation, right? Somebody accessed that information illegally. So people think when they think about different threats that exist, you only think about hacking, like the traditional thinking, right? But even somebody comes to your computer, they open up your computer and they take your file with all your training records without you understanding it, or receiving some of your training records illegally, or receiving it by mistake, that is still a threat, because now your company information is in the wrong hands, and then it's very nearly impossible for you to track what happened, how it happened, and how you can mitigate it. So, right now, when you think about learning and development space, right? People like Ray, who are the practitioners in the space. Of course, we are in the online learning, learning management system space in the Philippines. You could see that, a lot of companies are still trying to figure out this: how can they adapt to the new norm, right? And at the same time, how can they involve, industry experts like Ernest to help them advise them on effective ways to secure and also to mitigate the violation that comes from these threats that exist in the ecosystem. A lot of companies have lost money, billions of dollars. I think I was reading a report the other day, globally, just from threats, data threats, or invasion of privacy. It costing companies more than 10 to 15 trillion dollars a year. $1 trillion a year because of company losing data of different entities. So it's in the best interest for companies to really think about the learning and development ecosystem to make sure that they're investing in assets or technologies that help your data to be preserved in a centralized hub. You have people, you have your information be able to be traced, who has access to it at what time, do they have the access privileges to access the data, what is the access levels within the organization, and can the data easily accessible anywhere at any time. The challenge why people lose data is we have to get on the car, we have to go home, get on our computer, log in, and then we have to do these things, right? And now they're desperate to send things for, oh, I got to do training at 5 p.m. I got to do training at 8 o'clock, but I'm running late. And people start to send things because they're panicking or they don't have that infrastructure that is safe within the company. So, I think that's one of the benefits you start to see within the whole learning management system to provide that centralization, provide that way of tracing, and also the way actually to secure your learning and development infrastructure within your organization. Okay, over to you, Ernest. I'm sure you can go deeper into this.
Actually, you were already mentioning all of those security measures, probably that companies can actually employ for them to better protect the data that they're getting. So if they can minimize the data they're losing or accidentally sending out or disclosing it to parties who are not authorized to actually receive those information. So everything that you mentioned actually are well and good, diba? So, pero to go back now to what Sir Ray mentioned as a question, why is it important? It's all of those, diba? Because the wealth of information now that we collect, we process as organizations, as learning management institutions, diba? Providing online webinars, diba? Sending out all of these invites. It's just it just became so rampant now with the pandemic. Diba? So compared to before, it's probably not as quick to actually get people to come in or to attend trainings, because now it's really easy. It's just a click on a mouse. Diba? People are most people would have the time, since they're all working from home, diba? Remotely working, not necessarily going outside. Diba? So it's easier to market all of these trainings that we have, and people just get to choose a training program that they wanted to enroll into. So it's and provide the information for them to actually be able to join. Just recently, I registered for an information security type of training for tomorrow. So I noticed that the amount of information that we're getting, it's mostly really it's not bordering sensitive information, but it's personal. Diba? The phone number, the company. Diba? So it really begs the question: what do we need to actually collect from these potential participants of our training? So that also could be one of the questions that we need to answer as providers uh, of these learning webinars, training programs. So how do we actually reach out to them? So because data privacy would really play a big role in that process. Sorry?
Yeah, let me add something, Ray. I think
I
this is
go.
interesting. I think you just opened up something in my head, right? So, absolutely, I think data privacy should be part of the culture of the learning and development ecosystem of every organization in the Philippines. When we think about being the culture as one of the subsets, because typically when people do trainings, right, rarely you go to like an L&D section of a company and the first thing they think about is data privacy. Let's be factually honest here, right? They think about how many employees they have, how many divisions, what sort of training they need to have, what kind of way they're going to get the content, which trainers they need to bring in-house, or which online learning platform they need to invest in, right, for their self-paced learnings or virtual learnings. Rarely people talk about data privacy, right? But now what we see that the topic of data privacy is now elevating so many other layers to make actually become one of the biggest asset in number one of the biggest asset of L&D in organizations. And number two, if you look into nowadays what most companies or most organizations do in the Philippines, people are still taking an attendance record using an Excel file, right? Registration on an Excel file. That Excel file is passing through, I don't even know how many hands, Ernest. maybe tens and tens of people, right? So your name, first name, possibly how many courses you registered, how you pass or fail, you got a certificate, yes or no, where you're located. All that information is passing so many hands. There's no way of actually putting a centralized, organized way. It's all about organizing. It's all about organization, right? Organization comes into processing it, securing it, and making sure that it's sustainable for the future. If you want to do, recycling of data. So, so I think that the key thing is data privacy should also become a culture within the L&D. And also in the Philippines, another thing that's going to also help is the role of the L&D manager or L&D aggregator in the company is going to be elevated, even post-pandemic or in pandemic, because now it's very important for people to adapt to new technologies and also understand some of these data privacy threats and mitigation areas that exist, which people like Ernest spend most of their time to develop and also to implement across the Philippines.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Alpha and Sir Ernest. So I would like to ask the audience if you have any questions. Please don't feel free to shoot your questions in the chat box if you have any thing that you want to share with us. Okay, so maybe now we've already discussed the threats of data privacy in learning and development practitioners. Maybe let's talk about what are the things that the learning and development practitioners must be doing to mitigate those data privacy threats, or for the interest of other people that who wants to learn about more about data privacy, what should my company be doing in mitigating data privacy threats in my company? So before we go to dig deeper to the learning and development, I'm going to throw the questions to Sir Ernest to give us an insight. How do we protect our data in our company? What are the protocols that we should have? What are the policy should be in place? I'm going to throw the question to you, Sir Ernest.
Yeah, before I answer that, so to add lang on the threats that we're experiencing now, most likely it's still the same threats. Diba? We may now be in the digital environment, so to speak, pero the threats are still the same. The threat would be yung human weakness, siguro, so if you allow it, parang uh, at the end of the day, it's the people that can commit mistakes. We may have all of these tools. We may have infosec, antiviruses, firewalls, the LMS tool that can help us. However, at the end of the day, it's the people that will most likely be committing the mistake in sending the wrong information, sending the wrong file, attaching the wrong file to the wrong sending it to the wrong recipient, opening attachments we receive from people that we do not know, and then tada, we already have we were already infected by a virus or a ransomware in our machines. So it's the people. So I mentioned that because to share one of the more siguro common, if I'm not mistaken, common incidents that can happen is sending invites to trainings, diba? We better make sure, diba, as providers of this learning programs, trainings, we better make sure that the people that we send out these invites to actually agreed that they'll be receiving invites from us. Especially now with the privacy, people or individuals are being more aware that of their rights. Right? We don't want to actually receive from an email that, "Oi, why did I receive this invite when I did never agree to it?" Right? When I never consented that I will be receiving in training invites from your company. So with that, because people now know that they have the Data Privacy Act, the National Privacy Commission, to help them uh, address such breaches in their privacy. Diba? People have the right to be left alone. Diba? So when we do send out invites for paid or even free trainings, we better make sure that we send it out to the people that consented to our trainings. So that's one very big common risk. It's actually a risk even prior to it being digital, diba? Prior to the pandemic. Uh, I saw in one of the answered questions earlier, marketing was a challenge. So with the data privacy now, it really becomes a challenge, because the challenge now is, to whom do you send your invites to? Invite to your training or your webinars, diba? Kasi if you're not careful, you'll most likely be encountering people who are more aware of their rights as data subjects, and be asking, well, from where did you get my email? From where did you get my number? Diba? Because we ourselves, when we receive SMS messages, now, wait, do you want a car loan or whatever loan, diba? If you do you want to reserve this hotel, diba? Do you want to buy this lot in whatever place, diba? It begs the question, from where did they get our number? So same for sending invites for trainings. So now, to answer Soray's question, what can we do, diba, to mitigate all of these threats, diba? To mitigate the risk of people complaining about us reaching out to them when clearly we'd never got their consent for us to reach out to them. So one of the uh, recommendations or even requirements of the Data Privacy Act is perform risk assessment, risk management, diba? In the lens of data privacy and data protection. Often, with the companies I've met already, they misconstrue mismanagement as mismanagement in terms of an ISO standard, QMS, or information security. The difference is with the approach may be the same. It's still risk management, but however, with data privacy, it protects personal data. Plus, it actually for our local version of the data protection regulation, we need to also take care of or consider, diba? If we're actually uh, conforming to or complying to the principles of the Data Privacy Act, diba? Legitimate purpose, proportionality, and transparency. You can read about that in NPC's website or in NPC's Facebook page. I won't dig deep into that. It may sound too legalese. Nothing against lawyers; they're good, but for us to be able to thoroughly explain that, it actually takes a whole other program for us to be able to conduct a thorough session about it. But to answer the question, for what do we do to mitigate these threats? Is actually, in a nutshell, perform risk management, and risk management in the lens of data protection. So yeah, basically that would be my answer. Alpha, you want to add?
I think yes, absolutely. You can tell that Ernest is the guru. That's what he does every day, right? So he goes straight into the technical depth of this, which is good. Of course, So here's what I see as somebody who's running an e-learning company in the Philippines, right? Typically, when we engage with organizations in the Philippines, you can literally see different companies have different silos of operation, right? When we talk, typically our customer is the HR, L&D, HR directors. Those are the people we engage with. They want to use our platform to train their employees within the company. But also, as part of the process of engaging with the company, you have to speak to the IT department. You have to speak with the data security team, the IT head, IT director, the vendor management team. So you have to go through data penetration tests of your platform. They have to do some security due diligence. They have to review your IT policies for ProSpark. It's part of the process. But what we see in most companies, there's a clear separation between the IT team and the HR department. They really don't talk much, right? They only collaborate typically when there is a project that needs to be done, right? And when something that needs to get implemented, or something that is not working, that's when you see this department is really talking. So part of that is, when it comes now to L&D, typically the IT department has so many projects they have to work on, right? From across the whole company. And the HR have their own human capital projects they have to do, which is L&D specific. But that separation between the two, that there is no shared common vision of understanding what are the priorities on the IT, what are the priorities on the HR side, that could help to build this culture of understanding why data privacy should be an everyday thing that allows the HR and the IT team to speak to each other or to work collectively. So the solution can be also at the organizational level in terms of the future of the HR, the future of work or the future of HR department relatively to the future of IT. I predict to you that later on, as the pandemic unveils or post-pandemic, definitely the level of the IT director in every company is going to be elevated, or the level of responsibility. Most likely they're going to be having a direct seat on the table because of the digital transformation going on across the board. The same thing on the HR side, possibly the head of the L&D or the L&D director, learning development, at the HR side, head of learning. The role is going to be elevated because of the shifting. They have to invest in new skills. They have to invest in new technologies. They have to do all these different things. So that's all you know. Before you go much into the technical depth of how to solve, whether it's do investing in system penetration tests, do your due diligence of your passive controls, do your checking your inscription within your systems and all of that stuff, right? I think those things won't be sustainable if we don't look at how these organizations, divisions within the company are working together. But I think collectively, what's important is, even when you look at for a very good example, right? If you say how many attacks have happened recently, I'm sure you guys have heard so many things about Zoom. People log in, the Zoom bombing, right? People dropping some crazy thing during a training seminar. People playing music or whatever, right? Same thing that happened on Clubhouse. Same thing that's happening on Skype, right? So how do you mitigate those things? Possibly as a company, you also have to think about the system you already have right now to train your employees or to engage with your employees. Is that a safe system, right? How secure it is, how up to date is it, and who's managing it? Right? Typically, you go to these companies like, hey, yeah, we're using Zoom, we're using Skype, we're also using Prospark. There is no accountability of what system makes sense for the company to use, right? So I think part of that is also companies starting to think investing in the infrastructure or investing in solutions that protects your information and allows you the flexibility to operate your business in the right way. Another thing is the age of building everything in companies has come. I would say is to build everything internally. I think that time has come and gone. I think it's time for you to take advantage of the network effects within the Philippines economy, right? Engaging with the likes of, for example, Learning Innovation Hub, consulting services for training, engaging with Brother Ernest on the whole cybersecurity, risk governance things he has to do, engaging with the Prospark as an external vendor to support you with the learning management system needs. If you have to build everything in-house as a company, trust me, it's a nightmare for the IT department. Maybe 40% of the systems are out of date. They're still being used. No one is actually securing them. People look at them when things go bad. That's when the problem really, really exists. So I think it's, the whole make or build, the whole build or outsource discussion is going to continue to reign sake within a lot of organizations as digital transformation and pandemic is really changing the way people think, right? But absolutely, at the end of the day, you have to invest in some of these tactical IT strategies to make sure that your company is safe, right? Network security investment, right? What kind of safety protocols you have at the company, denial of services. I mean, how are you securing your data? All those little things you have to do. You have to do it, right? So, but too many systems, very hard to manage in-house at a company. That's when the problems start to come in. People access some of the systems because they're outdated. No one is tracking it. That's where your problem is. Your biggest threat at a company, especially in the L&D space, is the employee. They have access to all these systems, and they're the ones who typically take your information and share with the external ecosystem.
Okay, thank you, Alpha. Thank you, Sir Ernest. Actually, I just also want to share about how do we mitigate data privacy. Because I remember when I was initially using our LMS in my organization, um, actually coordination is very important. You need to coordinate with your client. The client or from the HR department need to coordinate with the IT department. Just to share with you what happened was I was telling the client that we're going to use an LMS, and my fault is I enrolled the participants or the participants in the training in the LMS, and I failed to advise the client that we've already uploaded the names. So what happened was there's an automated email sent to the participants to this certain training, and the participants were already shocked. What email is this coming from? Who's Emil Bechis of this email address? And they flagged my emails. The data privacy officer reported those emails to HR saying that we've been attacked by a malicious email and we've been phished. So someone's phishing. Please delete, install this antivirus. So basically, there's a lot of explaining that I need to do. I need to send a lot of documents to the HR, to the client, that the data that I've collected is safe. We've collected it, and this is how we do it. Basically, communication is also important. It's a lesson learned from myself. I need to basically coordinate with them. So let's talk about LMS. I guess people here are interested to learn more about the LMS security. Maybe Alpha, if you can share on how secure ProSpark is. Can you share a demo? So maybe our participants here could look at ProSpark as an LMS.
Absolutely. So before we get into the demo, maybe allow me just to say a few things, right? So possibly we see that there's some people who don't know what an LMS is, some people who know what an LMS is. That's okay. So for those who haven't heard what is LMS, LMS is a learning management system to train, upskill, reskill your employees or your partners or your customers within your respective business, right? So when you think about our product is hosted on a cloud service. So we have the application side and also we have the server side, right? Where our servers are hosted using our Amazon. We also have Google Cloud, so it's very secure. So the benefits of our LMS is you get the security on the cloud side, right, on the hosting side itself that comes with using an Amazon Web Services or GCP. But also we have our own platform, security measures that includes, data double encryption algorithms we are pushing on the platform, identification of ID, and also verification of your access privileges. So we're doing some different things on the platform to make sure that we provide all our clients in the Philippines a very added layer of security across the board so that people can access the product anywhere, anytime on the web application and also Android and iOS devices. But yes, let's show you the difference between creating a folder on your computer and zip it and send it to Ernest for Ernest to access your trainings. So the benefits of our platform, our ProSpark platform, is you can do everything within the platform and everything is hosted within our cloud. And you can put all your trainings or your documents or your videos or your data. Everything is virtually hosted within the cloud services at a very high secure level of access and secure level of data privacy. So let me invite Raina to kind of give you a bigger picture of what our ProSpark learning management system look like. And then she can kind of really walk you through how it works. Over to you, Raina.
Hello, everyone. Right now, I'm here in the course page, and what you are seeing is the list of courses that we have uploaded in our ProSpark LMS system. And what I'm going to show with you is a sample course creation on how you could just easily upload your PDF file or any type of file that you'll be needing. So this is the course details, and what you see is more on the uh, needed information for the information like course name, description, course schedule, and what we have is the course content. Here, I already added a content wherein there is it's more on the video file. And now I'm going to share with you on how to add additional item for a PDF file. Let me add another file. This is reading in Philippine history. So let me upload the file. Hold on. Let me just hold on. For a while, I can.
Reina, just select any file, make it easy, please.
I'll click save.
So basically, Alpha, what Reina is doing is she's uploading sample files that maybe the learning and development people are can do it can use in a learning management system platform, right?
Yeah, so I think what you see is what she's doing is to actually in the process of creating a course.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually selecting what files she needs to select, whether it's a PDF, whether it's a video, and this is how you upload the information within the platform, right? So our platform allows you to create videos. It allows you to create PDFs. It allows you to create Word documents. It allows you to upload SCORM files.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, so whatever files you have that are on your computer, they're on your shared drive, they're in places where you know it's not secure, you can actually centralize those platforms within the Prospect ecosystem. Now, can you go to the summary of the courses, please? Let's say, for example, now you've created all your courses within the company environment. So this is where you see the list of your courses that you have created, right? So the list of all your content within your company that you have created, right? Everything is centralized, everything is there, and you can assign a trainer to of that course or within that content to anyone. And also that we give you the flexibility to actually do a virtual learning via the action button on the right side. So you can assign these courses as self-paced trainings, or you can actually do these courses as virtual learning. So that is the benefit of using a Prospect. So now you don't have to send stuff over email all over the place and there's no way of tracking it. You can use the learning management system and it provides you that centralization benefit. Okay. Another quick tool is if you want to look at the library. The library section is more like your central hub for, let's say, as a company, you want to store all your company policies, employee announcements, things you want people to share, or you want your employees to create their own content and share with other employees within the company or within your customers. This is another section that allows you to do just that, right? So this is the admin login who's creating the course, managing the platform effectively. So everything you're seeing right now is being hosted on the cloud, right? So no need of emails, no need to do all of that. And whenever you create a course and you assign it to Ray or to Ernest, those employees or your customers will get an email notification that your course has been created. So these are the benefits of using a ProSpark learning management system because we provide you that centralization, we provide you that login credential access control, tracking all the activity and events within the platform, and most importantly, your data privacy at the highest level, as we can also provide on the platform side and also on our server side, which is being hosted by Amazon.
Okay, that's nice, Alpha. Actually, that's the learning solutions that I was looking before we had an LMS or before pre-COVID. We want everything to put in one
Yes.
platform, and I'm not scared if people can get or could see my other files, because I know it's secured there. The list of participants, the materials that I will be using in my training, it's secured. It's private. No one can look at it unless that I give him an access. If I'm using Google Drive, Google Sheets, and other Dropbox, the security, maybe other people can copy the link and they can download the materials. And
Absolutely.
of course, that's one of my problems.
And Reina, can you go to the main screen? Can you go to the home screen, please? All right. So let's say you're the HR director or the L&D director at the company level, right? So what you can also do is, I don't know, I'm sure maybe it's your Wi-Fi or something. Okay, going to the home screen.
Yeah.
What we can also do is you can also be able to track the activity within the platform, right? So you know exactly what happened on the platform, and also most importantly, who logged in, what they did when they logged in, and things like that. So you can see if you're scrolling, for example, on the right side, right? You have all your information that's available there, all your active users, total courses. You can see some of the things on leadership board. If you scroll down, but that's webinar schedule, right? But also, what we can also have information is we have information about recent events on the platform. So Ray has logged in, Ray has created a course, Ray has done this. So the admin can see in real time the activity that's happening in the whole company across the board just by the click of a button.
Okay, that's a nice platform. Maybe if we can have additional session, Alpha, I want to learn more about digital learning. How do you use this type of platform? So maybe we're going to discuss that next week.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it's 6:02. I know that people are busy and they're preparing for their meals. Any parting words about data privacy? Let's hear first from Sir Ernest. Sir Ernest, any parting words?
So, ano lang, like what's already said, parting words lang. So make sure lang that the personal data we collect, we process, are all protected. So one way to be able to protect them is understand where our risks lie. So perform risk management and then addressing them by putting in place security measures and controls that protect these data. That would actually help us comply with data privacy regulations, as well as protecting, safekeeping the data that our participants have entrusted to us. Take note, we are not the owners of these data. We're just the controllers of the data. So it's still them who owns the data. So they entrusted to us. So yeah. So we need to apply a high level of care in processing these data. So it does not necessarily fall into uh, unauthorized hands, diba? Accidentally being shared to the wrong people, diba? Being deleted. So yeah, that's my take, especially with how rampant learning management companies are coming up with programs, diba? Reaching out to the people that may need the training. So it's up to us to actually be able to secure the data that we are actually processing. Yun lang.
Okay. Sir Ernest, can you share with them your contact details if they're interested to if they're interested to ask for your help in data privacy?
Sige,
Maybe
wait lang.
you can just chat your email address in the chat box. Okay.
I'll
Sige.
Sige,
So,
sige, sige. Go.
thank you, Sir Ernest, for that. And Alpha, any parting words about LMS, the privacy of LMS?
Absolutely. Maybe before I go there, just want to see from the audience, are there any questions, any comments on what we discussed today, which we need to clarify? Any questions from the audience? It's okay to always email us later if you don't have any questions. That's fine. So, yeah, if you have any question, you can put that in the chat, right? No, I think yeah. So I think this is a very very important topic, and also it's a very very complicated topic within the respect of the learning and development environment. We believe that data privacy should become a culture of all the learners in a company, not just data privacy of safeguarding customer bank account numbers or customer order information, but also safeguarding your learning and development materials, right? Safeguarding your learners' data. As you saw in the Prosper platform, you need to make sure that all your users are safe, everything is centralized, and you can track it, right? So this is what we are trying to really continue to invest in building at ProSpark to make sure that we are able to serve our customers. For example, Gojek in Southeast Asia is our customer. We have a couple of different banking customers, insurance customers, insurtech companies. So we want to make sure that we continuously innovate, work very closely with our friends such as Ernest to provide us specific industry insights they see in other sectors of what's working, what's not working, and how we can continuously improve at ProSpark to make sure we are the most secure and the most reliable learning management system in the Philippines. But all in all, I think the future of learning definitely will be more fun and more easy and more engaging if people feel secure. If people don't feel secure with what they're learning or their privacy, you're still going to have a big challenge in convincing everybody to buy into the learning culture of a company. So I think right now with the pandemic, there's a lot of challenges, there's a lot of changes. We pray for patience in so many different organizations, but we're also hoping that companies can really start to think of investing in systems or solutions that allows all the information to be secure and make their job easy. And that's what we're trying to invest here at ProSpark to make sure that we become a very strong, reliable partner for every company or organization in the Philippines.
Okay, so thank you, Alpha.
Thank you.
Actually, data privacy, it's very important right now in our digital stage. So
Absolutely.
basically, again, thank you very much, Sir Ernest of Consent Consulting. If you have anything that you need in terms of questions or clarification on compliance and data privacy risk, you can email him at info@consentconsulting.com. He's happy to answer your questions and help you with your concerns on data privacy. And of course, my friend Alpha, if
you
if your company is really serious in transforming your learning and development into automation and into strategic part of L&D, ProSpark is the best digital learning partner. Okay, so next week we're going to discuss the digital tools and what are the online tools that we can use when we conduct online training program. And tomorrow we're going to send the invitation to you if you're interested to attend. And we're also going to invite a subject matter expert to talk about the beauty of online platforms. With that, thank you very much for watching this webinar session. This is the second episode of The Spot. Every 5 to 6 o'clock in the afternoon, Philippine time. We are live in ProSpark Facebook page, Learning and Innovation Hub Facebook page, and we're going to share this to different learning and development groups. With that, this is Ray Tadeo, the CEO and co-founder of Learning Innovation Hub, with me, my good friend, Alpha Bumhira of ProSpark, and my friend Ernest Oxon of Consent Consulting, saying thank you very much for attending. Take care always, and God bless. See you next
Thank
week.
you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, guys. Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Have
Thank
a good
you.
day, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Sir Ernest, thank you. Alpha, thank you.
Thank you very much,
See you.
sir.
See you.
Thank you. Good work.
Okay. Thank you.